The words iteration and sprint are often used interchangeably. Sprint is, of course, the Scrum term. Iteration is more framework neutral. The word people use seems to be an indicator of whether their first exposure was to Scrum or to generic Agile. I spent a day with a client who was using both terms. Not a problem, I'm used to that. But on the second day, someone said something that struck me. He said, "That's what we do in an iteration. Of course, it's totally different during a sprint." Huh? Do they have different meanings for what I'd considered until then to be synonyms? I asked what the difference was between a sprint and an iteration. I learned they call it a sprint if they're working overtime and an iteration otherwise. You know what? There might actually be something to that. But when I raised the question, I learned I was not the only one who didn't know they were using the terms differently. Words are important. They have their meanings, but words also carry connotations. These are implications of a word or impressions that form when we hear words. It may actually make sense for sprint to mean an iteration with overtime. A connotation of sprint could be going fast or going faster than normal. That's how we'd use sprint when talking about running, so that connotation easily carries over to what we think of when we use it in an Agile context. But when words are used inconsistently in an organization, it creates real problems. Some common confusions I see include story points are complexity to some and a combination of four factors, including complexity, to others. Still, other people may not have a clear definition of a story point at all. A sprint review is nothing more than a demo to some people and a more comprehensive review to others. And some view a daily scrum as a status meeting. Others view it as a synchronization meeting. Even simple words like team and product can create confusion. One organization I worked with had a year-long simmering debate over precisely what a product was for them. These problems have persisted for decades, probably since the second person joined the first Agile team. But the problems seem more prevalent today. I think it's because teams today are formed of people who learned Agile and practiced Agile differently. Different training and different experiences led them to different opinions about how best to do Agile. When team members use different words or have different understandings of core Agile principles and practices, it's difficult for everyone to find common ground. If you've seen confusion over Agile vocabulary and the proper names of common Agile practices, consider taking some time to define common terms and baseline practices. One way Mountain Goat can help you with this is through our Working on a Scrum Team classes. Learn more about how these courses can help your team to get on the same page about Scrum and Agile via the link shown above. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.